Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sutra-71 Moments of Joy. Anande mahati prapte drashteva bandhave chirat anandamayam udgatam dhyatva thallayas thanmana bhavet. There are moments of joy experienced in life. Let the mind be absorbed in this joy during such moments. In this absorption is the reality. The sutra says, observe carefully. There are several events that occur in our life when we experience joy. For example, you meet a friend or a relative after a long time. A sudden surge of joy arises. The sutra says, don't miss this sudden surge of joy. From where does it arise? Let the mind be turned towards this joy. In this absorption is the realization. Joy is different from happiness. Generally, we pursue objects and experiences to keep us happy. The happiness acquired through objects is time-bound, but joy is different. Joy is spontaneous. It is unconditional. You are sitting in a garden and enjoying a sunshine, or you are walking along a seashore. The music of the waves fills your ears. The sun is setting. The feeling is great. You are thoroughly enjoying yourselves. What expectations did you have? Nothing. You are absorbed in the present. You are absorbed in the moment. This is joy. Joy keeps you in the present, whereas happiness takes you out of the present. Historically, we have been always searching for happiness in the world. It is even more so in our modern age. In search for happiness, the mind wanders, whereas in joy, the mind is absorbed in the present. In joy, you are in solitude. In the solitude, you find yourself. When you find yourself, it is a great celebration. This is joy. In this joy, you are one with yourself. You are in the best company, which is being with yourself. Being with yourself is being at home. Imagine how joyful you are when you long to return home after a day full of hard work. Or you have been out of your home for a month touring somewhere. You are returning home now. There is a sense of joy to be back at home. It is nothing like being at home, isn't it? Being at home, we experience joy. Being at home means that you are with yourself. This is solitude. There is joy and it is unconditional. In this busy world, we have long forgotten ourselves. We have gone in search of happiness miles and miles away from us. In this pursuit of happiness, we have forgotten ourselves. We have forgotten the way back home. We don't even remember that we have a home. Life is so compassionate. It throws events at us and keeps reminding us of our home. It is like the joy you experience when meeting a friend or a relative after a long time. A sudden surge of joy arises. This joy is just a reminder. This joy is a reminder of the solitude. In the solitude, we find ourselves. Solitude is home. In solitude, you discover yourself. You are in the best company, which is being with yourselves. In being with yourself, an unconditional joy arises. The sutra says, dwell on this joy. Don't miss this moment. Let the mind be absorbed in this joy. In this absorption, you will realize yourself. Solitude will naturally take you to a meditative state. Solitude and meditation are the foundation when you are walking in the path of spirituality. A dry leaf releases itself from the tree and floats in the air. This leaf is a symbol of letting go and paving a way for new growth. It detaches itself from the tree. Detachment requires inner strength. It is about letting go. In solitude, it is about letting go. You let go of your past burdens and worries about the future. You will find your inner wisdom and strength in solitude. You enjoy every moment being with yourselves. This is pure joy. This sutra says, you have long forgotten yourself. It is in this moment you have found yourself after a long time. It is a significant event in your life. Don't miss it. It is like the joy you experience when meeting a relative or a friend after a long time. In that moment, you are joyful. Meditate on the joy. Let the mind be absorbed in this joy, the ananda. Drashte bandhave chirat. Chirat means after a long time. Having seen a relative after a long time, a great ananda arises. Anandaha udgata mahati prapti. Meditate on this ananda with one-pointedness. Thallayaha dhyatva. The mind will be absorbed in this ananda. In this absorption, the sadhaka realizes his own nature as ananda. Tanmana bhavet. This joy has always been there. This is extraordinary. This is beyond the mind and the sensory experiences we are used to. In this joy, the individual does not exist. This joy is different from happiness. Without understanding the nature of joy, we go about exploring the world in search of happiness. What are we searching for in the world? It is this joy alone. But we are searching for this joy unconsciously. Joy is our own nature. In search of this joy in the world, we are only searching for ourselves. Now, let us look at the nature of the world. In the world, we desire objects and experiences. Why are we pursuing objects and experiences? We are pursuing them for happiness alone. If the objects don't give us happiness, we will never pursue them. Let us understand the nature of the objects. Every object has a name and a form. I know they exist. Without the existence, they will cease to exist. Existence is the only commonality for every object in the world. This is asti. Now, how do I know the objects? I know them because they are in my awareness. If they are not in my awareness, I will never know them. This awareness is bhati. For example, in a room, you notice the existence of different objects because of the light. Wherever there are objects, there is light. Similarly, I know the objects because they are in my awareness. This awareness is bhati. Everything in the universe loves itself. Every living entity wants to be loved. They don't want to be hurt. We also don't want to be hurt and suffer in pain. we also want to be loved. We love ourselves, isn't it? Otherwise, we will not be standing in front of a mirror to dress ourselves. This love is Priyam. Priyam is Ananda. I exist. I am aware. And I want happiness. This is Asti, Bhati and Priyam. Everything else in the universe has Asti, Bhati and Priyam. The clay is there in every pot. The gold is there in every ornament. The universe is Asti, Bhati and Priyam. The reality of the universe is Asti, Bhati and Priyam. Asti Bhati Priyam Rupam Namachetyam Shapanchakam Adyatrayam Brahma Rupam Jagat Rupam Tatodvayam. When we pursue objects and experiences in the world, we are pursuing Asti, Bhati and Priyam alone. If you ask a question, where is Asti, Bhati and Priyam? Is it not in us? While seeking the world, we are only seeking ourselves. The nature of the creation and our own nature is Asti, Bhati and Priyam. This is the reality of the universe. The names and forms in the world don't have existence without this reality. This is Aparoksha Jñānam. This sutra is only conveying this message. Your nature is joy. The nature of the creation is also joy. This is the single truth. This is Satyam, Jnanam and Anantam. You alone are more than enough. When you meet yourself, a great joy arises. Let the mind be absorbed in this joy. In this absorption is the reality. How do we understand this absorption? I recollect a story that I heard from someone a long time ago. There was this young girl who goes to meet her beloved who has been away for a long time. She is very excited. Her mind is totally absorbed with the thoughts of her beloved. She is in a hurry to meet him. On the way, she stepped on a man performing his prayers in the middle of the road. She did not notice the person. The man was angry and he chased the girl. He caught hold of her and shook her with his anger. He said to the girl, "You stepped on me while I was in my prayers. You ignored me totally and went away even without apologizing. How dare you do it?" The girl said, "If you are so deep in your prayers, how did you notice me?" The girl did not notice the person. The girl did not notice the person doing prayers on the road. Her mind was absorbed with the thoughts of her beloved. She was one with him. She was one with joy. This is absorption. Ekantavasa or solitude is recommended in our culture. Ekantavasa enables the sadhaka to be one-pointed in meditation. For beginners, one may practice solitude for 1 hour per day. The sannyasis practice it regularly. The nature of the mind is to seek entertainment and to keep itself busy. The senses are busy serving the mind. I see people who are very concerned about their lives after retirement. They don't know what to do after retirement. They want to find ways to keep their minds engaged. They are afraid that they will age quickly without work. They don't get convinced by solitude or ekantavasa. In Kathopanishad, Yama says to Nachiketa, "Paranjikani vyaturnat swayambus tasmat paranga pashyati nantaratman kaschiddira pratyagatmanamaiksha davrta chakshur amrtatvam icchan." The mind flows through the five senses. Controlling the senses is not easy. If you restrain any one of them, the mind will continue to flow through the other four. Yama says to Nachiketa, don't get disoriented. This is how the creation is. An ordinary mind is unaware of the nature of the creation. A wise person understands and restrains the senses from going outwards unnecessarily. Use the senses for vyavaharam and not for pleasure. If used for pleasure, the senses become weak over time. In solitude, one moves inside. One moves inside only to find oneself. How did you miss yourself for a long time? The moment you find yourself, there erupts a great joy. This is beyond the senses and the mind. It is like the joy you find when meeting a relative or a friend after a long time. Anande mahati prapte drashteva bandhave chirat. Meditate on this joy. Let the mind be absorbed in this ananda. Anandamayam udgatam dhyatva thallayas tanmana bhavayet. The joy or ananda is our own swarupam. We have been very busy going after the world. In our busy life, we have forgotten our true nature. The sleep is just a reminder of our nature. In sleep, the Sushupti Avastha, there are no desires. The mind is completely withdrawn from the world. Na kanchana kamam kamayate. The mind is absorbed completely in sleep. Sleep is ananda. Even though the absorption of the mind in Sushupti is of an unconscious nature, Sushupti reminds us of Ananda beyond the mind and the senses. The sleep is a daily reminder, like an alarm clock, about our true nature. In solitude, the Ekantavasa, the vision of the sadhaka has moved from outside to the inside. The sadhaka engages in the activities only if they are important and supports his transformation. The sadhaka is ready to withdraw from the world and unnecessary activities. His only desire is the deathless state. This is possible only if you are able to meet yourself. This sutra is serving as a reminder.